Our top story tonight, Georgia Senator Raphael Warnock making a stop in Savannah today to talk about a major Supreme Court decision over using race to draw congressional districts. WSAV's Isley Herschel is in studio now to break it down.
Senator Warnock was joined by Savannah Mayor Van Johnson today at the First African Baptist Church. They spoke on the Supreme Court's ruling that says Louisiana's congressional district lines, which were drawn to create two majority black districts, amounted to an unconstitutional racial gerrymander, a decision many see as a serious blow to the Voting Rights Act.
Black and brown voters are being targeted.
After Louisiana lawmakers were denied the opportunity to redraw their lines, Senator Warnock says it's a step backwards in democracy and civil rights.
They are targeting our political power. And as a result of that decision last week, the Congressional Black Caucus is about to be smaller.
Warnock says this is nothing new for the country.
We have seen so-called race-neutral policies before that completely erase the ability of black and brown voters to be heard. Grandfather clauses, literacy tests.
Representative Buddy Carter says he agrees with the Supreme Court's decision and claims the ruling returns the Voting Rights Act to its original intent, which is protecting against intentional racial discrimination. In a statement, he told WSAV, Governor Brian Kemp should delay the House primary, call a special session, and redistrict Georgia immediately. Georgians should not have to live under unconstitutional maps that were drawn to intentionally discriminate for 2 more years. Warnock says those who made this choice are prioritizing power over the rights of the people.
Voting is not a privilege, it's a right. And I'm tired of people treating it like a privilege. It's a right. It's a right.
Top Georgia lawmakers do not believe any redistricting will happen this year, but they say it could happen in time for the 2028 elections. Isley Herschel, WSAV News 3 on your side.
Isley, thank you. Right now, the South Carolina House is debating changes to the state's congressional map, which would threaten Congressman Jim Clyburn's dominance in the 6th District. State Republican lawmakers are hoping for a full 7-0 congressional sweep of the state. The House approved a special session, which will allow lawmakers to debate the issue after the spring session officially ends on Thursday. The Senate still has to pass the resolution itself with a 2/3 majority. A political expert, John Brasini, tells WSAV despite heavy pressure from the president and the White House, a new map is not a done deal.
I would certainly not want to be a campaign manager or even a candidate right now running for any of the congressional seats in South Carolina because your complete campaign strategy right now is blown up. Whether you even reside in the district that you're in is still yet to be determined. And as I echoed earlier, we now have members of the legislature that are looking at the proposed map coming out of the White House saying, I don't like the fact that my community is split up.
If a new map is approved, a new date for the congressional primaries would also have to be approved, which would move that election to mid-August, and that would also allow new candidates to enter the race potentially. Even former Representatives Nancy Mace and Ralph Norman could run for their seats again if they don't get into the gubernatorial runoff. We're going to take a live look outside now through our Savannah cam. It has been a warm day across our area, but some strong storms could be on the way as we head into the evening. So we're going to check in now with Storm Team 3, Chief Meteorologist Scott Roberts.
Hey, good evening, Ben. Yeah, we do have the risk of a few strong and severe storms this afternoon, but for the most part, conditions have been mainly dry across the region. In fact, in our immediate area, no lightning has been detected. Just a few pockets of moderate to heavy rain across the low country, mainly into the Beaufort County along Highway 21. We do have a pretty decent cell near Academy Estates, just south of Beaufort right now. A few more of these are developing further inland. And with the temperatures that have been able to warm into the upper 80s, lower 90s, there's plenty of energy to fuel any of these thunderstorms this afternoon. But for the most part, the stronger storms were across the Myrtle Beach area. More moisture will be streaming in overnight and into the day tomorrow, so a few more showers, a couple more thunderstorms are possible, and that will be the case into Wednesday as well. But as far as the severe weather risk for Monday, it's going to be fairly low, but mainly for the low country and northward. Breezy and gusty wind would be the primary concern. Temperature-wise, we're still in the upper 80s to lower 90s right now, and it will remain warm going into the evening hours with that low-end risk for some showers and storms. We'll have the full forecast coming up in just a few moments.
We will see you then. Thank you. Our crime and safety report now. A judge has granted bond to a former Savannah police officer accused of murder. Ernest Ferguson is charged in the 2022 shooting death of Saudi Lee in Carver Village. Body camera footage appears to show Ferguson shooting Lee in the back during a foot chase. The incident sparked outrage. Ferguson has been held behind bars for several years, but his defense team argues he has completed programs in jail, remained sober, and has been deemed low risk in an expert evaluation. The judge has now granted bond, setting it at $65,000, and will require him to wear an ankle monitor at all times. Two parents behind bars and facing serious charges in connection to the death of their infant child last November. The Chatham County Police Department says Heather Laborde and Paul Rapkin have been arrested in this case. Officials say that on November 25th of last year, officers responded to the 400 block of Butler Avenue after receiving reports that an infant was not breathing. The baby was taken to the hospital where she was pronounced dead. Investigators say the baby's death was caused by the effects of fentanyl and methamphetamine. Both parents are charged with second-degree murder and child cruelty. Georgia State Patrol investigating 3 separate deadly accidents over the span of 3 days in our region, 2 of which were hit and runs. The first happened in Bullitt County just after 10 on Thursday night. Troopers responded to reports of a hit and run on Pulaski Road near Flower Road. A witness on the scene told investigators that 68-year-old Darnell Hodges and his bike fell in the road, and he was struck by an SUV. Hodges was declared dead at the scene. Officials are looking for the suspect vehicle, a 2020 to 2022 Honda CR-V in either black or silver, which was last seen fleeing northbound on Pulaski Road toward Statesboro. If you have any information, you're asked to call Georgia State Patrol. The second incident happening just after 6:30 last night in the Georgetown area of Chatham County. At Chevis Road and Beaufort Road, GSP saying an SUV entered the roadway and the path of a motorcycle. The bike then struck the SUV's passenger side. Both vehicles ended up in a ditch on Beaufort Road. The SUV fled the scene, we're told, while the motorcyclist suffered a severed leg. He was taken to the hospital where he later died from his injuries. The third incident also happening last night in Toombs County. Toombs 911 receiving a call about a wreck on Galbraith Road. The caller said 2 dirt bikes collided and both drivers appeared to be severely hurt. Deputies arrived at the scene and found 17-year-old Lee Sturgis and 18-year-old Brody Hutto injured. Sturgis was airlifted to the hospital in Savannah. Hutto died at the scene due to his injuries. Georgia State Patrol now investigating at the request of the Toombs County Sheriff's Office.
Now, Time Saver Traffic, sponsored by Arrowhead Clinic. The accident doctors, where it pays to get well.
We are still experiencing some major delays along I-95 northbound as you approach Interstate 16. There was a multi-vehicle crash that occurred there. Still taking some time to clear that scene, so speeds do start to improve though once you head north of Interstate 16. Otherwise, drive times are starting to improve heading out of the city, now taking less than a half an hour to get down to Richmond Hill along US 17. Not too bad of a drive heading out to Pooler as well. We do have some low-end rain chances and thunderstorm chances in the forecast for the next few days. Otherwise, drier and hotter conditions will prevail. We'll have the latest details in a few moments.